Hello. And I'm not entirely sure if I can hear myself actually.
I can hear you.
You can hear me? Oh, so it's my mic. Well, hello. Welcome to Point Park University esports team on downtown's Pittsburgh. In downtown's Pittsburgh for League of Legends. So if you were here for the Rocket League stream, thank you for coming, and thank you for staying to the League of Legends stream. I was not there, unfortunately. I had some classes and practice to get to, so I was not able to cast for that time. But I am here now, and we're going to be doing some League of Legends. We're already on the draft, so in a little bit we'll move over to the draft. But how are you today, Bryce?
I'm doing great. The Rocket League team got a big win today, so we're in high moods and hoping they can pull it off here for League.
Precisely.
And it's
I'm
a
very excited.
big game.
Yeah, honestly. Um, like, I think, what was the scores? Like, it was close, wasn't it? Like, it went up to game 5.
Yeah, between Rocket League, yeah, it was
Hmm.
so it went 1-1-1. So we were down 2-1,
Oh,
and then we won twice in a row winning it.
wow, that's cool. Wow, that's crazy. So
Yeah.
I'm happy with, well, Point Park esports team has proved time and time again that um they're resilient. They're gonna keep going. So we're gonna see here. Speaking of which, let's talk about our League of Legends team. We're now in to the season, the game, the tournament. We're here. We're
Well,
here now.
it has been a rough
This
going.
is going to be an interesting game. We're playing against um what's the
University of Cumberland.
thank you. We're going against University of Cumberland again. If you remember, yes, the Patriots. If you remember last week's stream. So yeah, we're going against them twice in a row. So this time around, we're hoping to see that Point Park University is going to um possibly take what they've learned from the previous game, which is literally last game, so they should have a fresh memory of what happened and be able to implement new strategies to counteract what we had to deal with against the Cumberlands, right?
Well, I know I sure have fresh memories. Yeah, I think a big part of this game is we need to find a way to communicate better.
Mhm.
I've been hearing rumors that they're kind of not happy with the drafting style. Hopefully this week that's a little bit better now that we have the coach here for the playoffs.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and also they just kind of need to like learn. They need to put it together. That they
Yes,
need to
they need
work on.
a.
They need to get the dragons. They need to get the ejectors, and they need to just put it together in the end. That's where they lack so much. And we constantly see them lower on Rebels because they're not focusing on this
Right.
stuff.
Uh, well, if let's do a little bit of a pickup here. If you weren't so, because we keep mentioning the last week's stream and how unfortunate that game was for Point Park University. We lost two of those. We lost the two games, so we didn't even get at least one on them. So, um, what exactly happened? Like, why did we struggle so much against them? Because we had such a what's it called? Our early game is usually where we strive in, and then, or apologies, our early game is usually where we are fighting back and forth, and then eventually in the end game, we start pushing ourselves forward. However, last week it seemed like there was no place for us to really pick up that pace because we would get the momentum and then completely lose it immediately.
I think it's genuinely we're just not communicating.
Hmm.
Like you would see these big fights. They come. They looks like both sides are about to come into this huge clash,
Right.
and then like 2 point point people just pull away, and all of a sudden it's 5-on-3,
Exactly.
and we can't win.
It's
That
a
there's a numbers game.
yeah, it's a big numbers game actually. I noticed that as we've been casting this game more and more. It just seems, and there's obviously like characters that are just kind of crazy, and people who play them just go absolute ham on them.
Well, another thing with that, with the players part,
Hmm.
is it wouldn't be as bad if we could keep up with levels.
Right.
But we're not focusing on objectives. We're not building
Exactly.
ourselves to look good. We're
Right.
trying to keep even too long. and not try to pull ourselves ahead while the other team does pull ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually we can't go back and forth with them anymore. Eventually they
Exactly.
just get too powerful.
Yeah, it's like it like League of Legends is a game of balancing all the stuff that it throws at you. For example, I know that you have like when you're playing the game, you have to not only balance your like the space that you control in the lanes, so being able to push forward and be able to contest one of the turrets, you need to be able to have control in the jungle to be able to get those points. Being able to manage your levels, being able to manage your money, being able to deal with the monsters that spawn in the jungle to be able to get those levels. All of those add up together, and if you let one slide and like ignore it, it hurts you tremendously because you have to have that even balance of it all.
Yeah. And yeah, that's been seen so often where we just get outgunned.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't work towards getting ourselves to stay at their level, and eventually numbers just catch up on us.
Mm-hmm. So it does look like from last week we did see Orin be played by the Cumberlands, so they're bringing that back again, which if I remember correctly, Orin was pretty strong. Like that, whoever was playing that character, they were able to shut down a lot of pushes, I would say.
Yeah. And I actually had a good chance to kind of sit and listen to the coach
Mm.
talking about how their drafting's going to go.
Right.
And this is pretty much line for line what they said they were going to do. So on that note, I think it could be good. The
Mm-hmm.
coach, what the coach wanted to do, seems to pay it off. It's happening.
Right. Coach, as in Chris Coach or Jacob
As in Chris.
Chris.
Yeah. Jacob was talking to him, but it was Chris who kind of made like the big
So it
decisions.
looks like we've got a new player on the field. Not player, not
Coach.
new. Like
Yeah.
we got some more insight. Someone else who also has a lot of experience
Yeah.
with
And
this game.
during
Um,
the Rocket League stream, we talked about how the coach brings a big kind of part back to the team when he
yeah,
shows
I've
up.
noticed that like his presence kind of ups the
Yeah.
ante, ups the like vibe. Because I was watching, uh, Coach Chris talk to the Rocket League team, and it just felt like not only he was giving them insight of the game, but he was also like, "Yo, that was sick. That was
Yeah.
great. You're doing awesome. Just keep doing that." And then if there's something that the mistake happened, like, "Oh, don't do that. Don't let it up. You got this. You know what your mistake was. Fix
Yeah. And
don't let yourself make those
there was
mistakes."
actually a moment very early on. It was after the first game we were down one,
Hmm.
and he was kind of talking with them, and then we saw him give like a little smile. And then suddenly they just came into the second round and they destroyed the other team. Like, so it's kind of like, you can kind of see that visual cue from him,
Exactly.
and suddenly the team just suddenly just like completely
Hmm.
flips everything on its head,
Yeah.
and it's kind of cool to see. And I think that's why it's such a big deal that the coach is here during playoff week,
Hmm.
and I think that's a good thing for our players.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I'm hoping to see kind of something similar with the League of Legends team here. I think definitely they need that they need that second brain to kind of pick at them and let them know, hey, come on, y'all, you guys got this. Just keep it up, keep doing what you know what you do.
Yeah.
Just don't let it yourself like fall apart like that, because I think a big thing is once something wrong happens in our League of Legends team, they start to crumble. Like they quickly just they lose themselves.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Their morale, if they start to lose, they just kind of like it dips immediately.
Mhm.
And that's something that's been a big issue with them, where they will lose like the first game, and then they come in the second game and they're just not making any differences. They feel like everything fell apart, you
Mhm.
know? Or they'll make many differences and it'll just like fall apart a different way.
Right.
They need to find that middle ground where they make enough differences that can be
Mhm.
adaptable, but not too many differences that it kind of comes back to bite them.
Mhm. You said you were listening into their kind of like drafting concepts and what they were planning for. Did you catch like exactly what they were planning for? Like what their strategy is going to be into this?
I heard they were going like all in on like melee. They have like
Oh,
4 melee legends and then 1 support.
I see.
So
So they're
I
just
think
gonna go
I
like
think they're
balls
going full
blazing.
brute force on this
I
one.
see. Brute force in it. You know, honestly, to be fair, the brute force method does work. We'll see if maybe like this brute force. Did you catch whether or not this is more of a like late game strategy or an early game strategy?
I did not catch that
Okay.
part. I have not
Well,
entirely sure what they're going for there, but I know they went all in on brute force.
yeah. Well, we'll see that in the we'll see how that works when the game starts. But I was curious about that because with this all melee composition, the obviously your greatest enemy is going to be any character with like large range, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully, and once those characters that have like a lot of range get to the certain level where they're just able to sit back and just kind of pick at Point Park one by one because they're not going to be able to get hit because everyone's in Point Park's team is melee. They kind of have a free kill, right? So hopefully, not only that, I wonder what the solution to that would
Yeah,
be.
but you also have to think. Yeah, range is a counter to melee, but that's what melee's a counter of. Range. Because if you're trying to shoot from afar and they're rushing at you,
Hmm.
it's gonna be really hard to shoot them before they break the distance and hit you.
Very
Like
true, very true. So we'll see if.
it'll keep them kind of on their toes running a lot because
Hmm.
there's no real like shootout. It's just all people rushing at you.
Right. So if we end up going for this like hard push, straightforward approach, that means I imagine our early game is going to have to be really strong. We need to have a very strong early game to be able to carry the momentum that we have from the beginning because I imagine this melee uh, composition against a like having base level melee versus base level range. If you're able to push onto the melee, I mean the range without them being able to like process and be able to react to it, we should be able to absolutely like curb stomp the the enemy. So hopefully we're able to do that also and then also be able to take that momentum that we have from the early game and be able to carry it forth to mid and late, right?
Yeah. And
So,
I
yeah.
agree, yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is just going to be building momentum early,
Hmm.
and then as you get that momentum, capitalizing on it.
Right.
Pushing down their throats, and just bring the fight to them. That's what you got to do
Hmm.
with this composition.
Right. So that's actually going to be really interesting to see. It kind of incentivizes more of an aggressive play style, right? So maybe this is kind of the coach's way to be like, hey, I need y'all to be committing to your fights, be more aggressive, be more proactive than reactive. Therefore, I'm going to have this be a all melee team where you guys have no choice but to be forceful. Because if you aren't, then you are going to get punished, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's kind of the idea that coach has.
And I like that he still kept like a support character in, because at the end of the day, you still need that help from the background,
Hmm.
and they're still going to be able to help give a boost to these melee characters.
Yeah, it's important to have some sort of support in any kind of like attack or I guess defense because it you could there's whenever you have an offensive team attacking, right? And they are continuously pushing themselves forward over again and again. They're going to be getting those eliminations, those picks, that space. But in doing that, they're also going to slowly lose some health. They're going to be weaker because they're pushing forward. They're not retreating back to get to like regenerate or anything. And normally, the way it works is melee teams that are like very strong, they take a lot of time to mobilize, right? So having that support, right, is really important. So they can at least slow down that kind of decay of power throughout the push, right?
Well, you know what I think might help them a little bit?
Hmm.
I think a little bit of Red Bull might just help.
That is very true. I like that. I like that. You know? Thank you, Red Bull. Thank you so much for sponsoring Point Park University Esports. This, thank you for giving us like boxes of Red Bull. We have fridges full of Red Bull. It's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Extron and RPC Video, for providing us with the facility tools that we use to be able to provide you with the stream and quality that you guys see on these streams. Thank you so much. Anyways, without further ado, I think it might be around time we get into the stream of League of Legends. But before we do that, while we're waiting for that, tell me, what do you want to see Point Park do tonight? Like, what
I
is the biggest thing?
I want to see communication.
Communication.
Number one thing I think that's been our biggest killer in the last
I
couple of
agree.
weeks. We just aren't working together.
Mhm.
And until we work together, everything else is gonna fall apart around us.
Exactly.
So that's the number one thing.
Hmm. Yeah, these pushes need to be fueled with communication and commitment. Like, maybe like triple C, like communication, commitment, and
Content.
content.
Yeah, we're going all in.
Communication, commitment, courage.
Courage, I like it. Yep, that sounds good to
The
me.
3 C's of League of Legends that we need to see. You know?
Yep.
The 3 C's. We'll see the 3 C's. So, like, with that being said, commitment is very important. Looks like we're actually in here again.
Yep.
The normal spread of Shalato and Soap.
Shalot.
Sorry, Shalot and Soap playing bottom lane. The Almighty playing top lane. Gibby playing mid lane, and Ribeiro playing jungle. The usual spread. It was Cyanide that played Orin. Yes.
And immediately we're kind of starting to see, we're starting to see that aggressive nature. Point Park seems to be head on fighting these opponents.
Yeah. Right. Aggressive behavior we're going to be seeing. We're going to need to be more, I guess, what's the word? Kind of, excuse me. We need to win these fights. Because if we're being aggressive like this, we can't be reckless, right? If we're recklessly pushing ourselves just to get the pick off or be able to get that elimination, you're exposing yourself to a potential flank or a potential just loss of communication because you're just pushing on your own, right?
It looks like we've got to cut back the caster cams. I guess there's something going on with the
Just a
game.
little bit.
So
It's all right.
you're gonna see us for a minute.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We got a little. All right. So, like, when we see our game, we notice that the usual thing that occurs around mid the game, right, is, or at least against Cumberland, let me say that, is they rotate who is in what lane very often. Cyanide was top lane for like maybe like a Cyanide was like top lane for like a small amount of time in like the early game, but then like branched out, started pushing around, and basically was playing on almost any lane, just to confuse Point Park.
Yeah, and I
So
think that can be considered, a little bit of too much. And I think if
right,
Point Park worked together to kind of punish that more, they
exactly,
could try to persuade them away from it.
exactly.
But for some reason, they don't communicate when someone leaves a lane,
Mhm.
and it kind of like if you communicate this stuff and you work together, you can really punish them for leaving that lane.
Exactly, exactly. With like whenever there's a lane that's just open to the for public, for sorry,
For public.
whenever if the lane is just opened for Point Park to push, they need to be able to take advantage of that because that is literally what you're supposed to punish whenever the enemy team recklessly rotates like that.
Yeah.
Whenever they move to different lanes just to move different lanes. I don't really know exactly why they would move so often. Like
Yeah.
they change so often that it just seems like what is the point?
Yeah, I think that would really help us, honestly. We're kind of seeing the fight beginning here in the bottom lane.
Do you think that we might? I think Ribeiro is actually working on the dragon right now, so we might be able to get our so we might be getting the first dragon, which is actually really good. That was really proactive for Point Park, where they immediately went for the dragon, or at least Ribeiro. Ooh.
Looks like Cumberland just got got the first kill though.
Yeah.
Not good.
Fortunately, teams like Shalot and Soap started getting pushed back. It does look like Point Park was able to get the first dragon, which is very good.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the issues we were talking about. They don't build up enough. So if they could do that for the rest of this game,
right? Like if they're going to allow themselves to build up like this, the next thing that's going to be spawning is those grubs. So hopefully we'll be seeing maybe Point Park be able to push for those grubs. And from what it looked like, it seemed like Ribeiro was just kind of solo handling that dragon. Maybe that could be the strategy where Ribeiro, as the jungler, sets up just deals with these like spawns and be able to what's the word?
I mean,
grind them, and then if need be, you're like, hey, I need help to be able to handle these dragons. I mean, this dragon or monster. Can I get backup before it spawns, right?
the only thing is, I would just be a little bit careful with it, because you know how often dragon fights devolve into a big 5-on-5.
Right,
So
right.
if they fail to communicate that in time, Ribeiro's just caught dead-handed.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to kind of communicate fast enough.
Exactly. It's important to still be able to stay that, like, hey, I need y'all to come here and help me out, because I feel like, like the thing is, if all the lanes are empty, right, and you're like, where is the enemy team? They're gonna be somewhere else. With that being said, if each lane is empty, what are the chances that I could be in the jungle? Pretty high. So if that's communicated to if that gets communicated to one another in Point Park, that lets Ribeiro know, hey, I gotta get out of there. I'm by myself. They're probably coming for me right now.
Yeah.
Right. So it's nice that Ribeiro is pushing on the onto the these monsters like that, but it's also good that but it's also important to know that Ribeiro needs to like get communicated to, let him know whether or not it's okay to be able to push these out. Does look like they are does look like Point Park is already on the grubs here, so they will be taking advantage of that. Does look like Cyanide and a Homeless Man is going to be playing a little bit close there.
Yeah, it looks like it's becoming a big fight here now.
Oh no.
It could go either way. Let's
Yes,
see how
it's
it
a
goes.
4v4 right now.
So got stuck in it. That ain't good.
Oh wow! We're seeing this melee composition get crazy right now. Cyanide almost eliminated, Homeless Man almost eliminated, pushed them back all the way, and it looks like we got all three Void Grubs already pushing our way forward. This is good.
And this is why. This is what they maybe were planning. You know, these big engagements.
Yes.
They had the advantage because they have all these melee builds, and the jungle is so dense that how are you going to get range in this jungle?
Exactly. That is exactly what we just saw. There was a very like successful fight for a monster on Point Park's team, where they took advantage of the fact that they are a melee oriented team against a team that may not be as close combated, right?
Yeah.
And with like what you said, in the jungle, you can't make that space because it's dense. There's a lot of things in the way. That lets Point Park be able to kind of isolate them, force them to be able to fight like that.
Yeah. And that's got to be the strategy they have. They have to take advantage of these dense areas, you know, create choke points, create these moments where the other team is forced in the melee.
Right?
Because the moment they're forced in the melee, you have the advantage.
Oh. It does look like there was a potential like fight there, but I think they decided to pull away a little bit, just for sakes of not getting too greedy with the eliminations there. Oh, I'm starting to remember the characters again, the players. We got Noisy and God Construct on the enemy team here and all that. Does
Yeah.
look like Gibby is playing bottom lane this time against Noisy.
Yeah, that is the fun part about the playoffs. I was noticing that during Rocket League. I kind of recognize some of the players.
Right? It's really fun.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, I don't know about fun. I had a lot of trauma from those players, but yeah, I recognize them.
So as I was saying, like before the game even started, as this melee-oriented team, we need to take advantage of our early game and be able to carry that momentum that we gained from early game onto the rest of the game. We are actively showing that we have this, what's it called? We have this momentum. We need to keep pushing forward.
Almighty kind of used the fact that all his minions were going up as a way to sneak away into the
Right.
jungle, which was very interesting. I wonder if that's him signaling that Point Park is going for the dragon. It looks like they might be,
I think they are going for the control here.
but there looks like there might be a big fight about to go down over this dragon.
They're starting to mobilize here.
Oh!
Oh, big
And the
fight has occurred.
Point
Ribeiro
Park
getting
went
pushed
for
out a little
the
bit, but
ambush.
getting ooh. That's 4 against 3. I think they're pushing back a little bit. 5 against 4.
It looks like they might have outnumbered them for a second, but now all of Point Park's here.
Oh, Point Park is here.
And a
Ribeiro
big
is
fight.
already kind of low, but with that
So
being
is
said,
that.
Ruka is.
Yeah.
Ooh, Cyanide kind of playing back here beside the turret though. So
Cyanide, kind of a smart play, because pulling
Yeah.
back towards the turret meant Point Park couldn't pursue him. But at the
exactly.
same time, it kind of
Oh,
left
the
all
fight
his
does
friends.
begin now. We're going to be seeing a
Oh.
big fight. Does look like Cyanide did push their thing. Oh gosh, Soap getting eliminated. Oh no, the punishment heavy. The Almighty was able to get a couple eliminations. We'll have to run away now. Oh no.
They did take out a couple, but in the end, the other team did beat them. But even if they get the dragon, they have to pull back after because of all the damage dealt to them.
They did get really heavily damaged. I think there was just
I think both teams really punished each other in that
Yeah.
exchange.
I think a big they will be getting that dragon here. But at least with that being said, the Point Park was
Oceans bring life.
yeah.
That's always a fun pop-up. Oh!
Oh,
it
Ribeiro
looks like-
getting a bit aggressive
it
here,
looks like
trying to get the
Ribeiro-
elimination on Noisy. Does get the elimination.
It looks like Point Park wanted revenge.
Point Park was going for that revenge. I mean, this is a revenge match. They are going for the win against
Yeah.
their very unfortunate loss from last week. This is the moment to shine. This is the moment to show that Point Park is not to be messed with. We're going to come back stronger, right?
You have to wonder if Point Park is kind of just fed up with losing.
Right.
And now they're getting so aggressive here.
Like I'm seeing some sort of change, like this melee-oriented style is really forcing them to play more aggressively. We're getting fights more often rather than kind of people just kind of fraying away, being a little afraid, being a little nervous about pushing up and everything. We're seeing this aggression from Point Park, and it's good to see that.
Yeah, that is a nice bit of change from what we're used to with them, and I'm hoping it's a good sign for how this game's gonna go down. Looks like the battle
Cyanide,
fighting over here in a Point Park tower, but
Cyanide playing aggressively, trying to get some points off. Gibby
looks
did
like
punish
he's
that
able to
pretty
push
heavily.
back. Oh, and as that happens, the turret plating falls. That means we're about mid-game now. That could be big.
Could be.
And we're back and forth here. Just kind of, both teams are kind of falling back a little bit. Oh, maybe not.
Ooh,
Point
Noisy
Park.
getting a little punished here, playing in that
And
a
look,
bushery, trying to
look
get.
at that. Gibby's going for the tower while this is all going down.
They aren't then just by themselves as well, so they might be able to get some. Oh, we
They
will
will
have
push
to push
back
back
by
a little bit because of the minions, yeah. Oh my gosh, Cyanide playing a little close there for the fact that there's 3 others. Does look like he's getting a backup though.
You
This
know?
might be another big fight coming up. We are playing around the spawn for the next Rift monster.
Kind of see how Point Park's being a lot more
And with that
aggressive.
being said, the Herald has just spawned. It looks like we're going to be seeing the Almighty playing around that a little bit.
Yeah, but look at Ribeiro. He's kind of guarding this area as soon as they
Ooh,
came
getting
by.
punished through the homeless man. Getting pushed back a little bit.
As soon as they came by, he jumped them.
Oh, jeez. This is
And-
going to be looking like another big fight going on. Ribeiro pushing a little bit aggressively, and not the best idea here. Getting a little bit punished. Oh, no. Almighty getting shanked after.
Friends are coming though. They
Oh,
pushed
no.
him back.
They pushed that incorrectly.
So that was kind of an example of maybe getting a little too aggressive.
Yeah.
They need to kind of find a middle ground here.
They need to be aggressive. However, they need to communicate that aggression together.
Yeah.
Because they had the ingredients to make a very good two front battle for the Cumberland kind of squad that they had there. However, Ribeiro kind of pushed a little too early and kind of forced himself to basically take the brunt of all the attacks rather than kind of splitting up Cumberland on the defensive, right?
And
So it ended up kind of lowering him to the point where he was basically out of the fight before the true fight began. Right?
Another thing with boxing them in 2 different fronts, where do they go?
Right.
Again, it kind of feeds into their all melee strategy. And we're kind of back to the back and forth here, as Point Park kind of came back. See what they do with it. Oh, and it's definitely just kind of they're in the back and forth stage again.
Yeah. With those two kind of losses that we've just had for Point Park, it is a little nerve-wracking to see because we are starting to lose that momentum that we had at the very early game. We're going to need to be able to kind of combat that with not only our aggression, but also the 3 C's that we were talking about. We need to be able to see that be fueled with the aggression. So they need to act appropriately.
I agree, and I'm very interested to see kind of how they bounce back from the bit of an issue they've had, and now they're seeing there's a dragon spawning. Maybe that's the next step.
Right. The thing that I did notice was the first round, Ribeiro acted as kind of a, hey, just letting y'all know, the dragon's gonna spawn soon. I saw their pings on the map, hey, the dragon's gonna spawn soon. We need y'all. Can I get y'all to help me out, or at least distract them so I can deal with it?
Looks like Soap's kind
And
of.
then I saw that in the second thing with the second spawn with the the rift grubs. And similarly, he was like, "Hey, I need help with that," and he got help that time. But ever since then, it just seems like there's no longer this kind of, "Hey, I need help on the monsters that are being spawned."
There was a little bit of a fight over that dragon, but it looks like Cumberland's got in the end. But now, yeah, they kind of got beat up a little bit in the process.
Aggressive. Yeah. Ruka's so low.
Yeah.
Surprised.
Just barely got away.
With that, Cumberland was able to get the dragon there, which is a little unfortunate.
You know what
this
I'm
turret is kind of low, though.
Yeah, and I feel like I've seen that with a lot of Cumberland's turrets. They seem to be getting. Oh, well, we did just see one of Point Park's turrets get damaged.
Yeah, the bottom lane was punished pretty hard. That's why, because they sent out their the Rift Herald to support their bottom push.
That would do it, yeah.
Godstruck was able to eliminate our Gibby here.
Yeah.
That is going to be a difficult thing to play down there.
Oh, the Almighty kind of being aggressive here around Cyanide. They're back to just kind of playing it safe, but every once in a while you see that aggression just kind of spark now. And that's something very different than what we're used to with them.
Construct and Ribeiro playing down here.
Yeah. And it looks like some people are channeling back, probably to use some gold. Kind of a weird choice to do at that point, though, with some of the...
Double push. Ribeiro is going to get punished here. They're going to be eliminated, maybe. You're going to have to run.
Ribeiro
barely getting away there. Does look like the God Construct is slowly ticking down on our turret here.
And it looks like the Thornbound spawned in
You
the
have
bottom
Gibby
lane.
coming down there to help it. Thornbound now spawned. We're going to see if anyone's going to attack that or be able to take advantage of that. I don't think so. No,
Well, they're
Gibby
kind of
being
making mistakes staying so close to the tower. Look at their health. And there it is. The tower took one of them out.
yeah. Very, very nerve-wracking, however, because Ribeiro almost eliminated there. But not actually did get eliminated. Gibby, apologies for the wrong name.
Seeing another fight in the middle now. It seems like the fight's just happening everywhere in this one.
Different.
Which is very different than usual, because usually it's in one place. In this game, it's everywhere. And oh, the
Ooh.
tower's down with
Eliminate the
Ribeiro
tower.
sneaking in.
He's going to pull back here to get some health again. I wonder if
It's back and forth here.
Yeah.
And it looks like Soap's coming back out down to help Shalot. They usually work together, so that's not too much of a shock. But they are in middle lanes now, so a little bit different than what we used to with them.
right.
Yeah, they're usually in the bottom lane. Yeah, that's another thing. Point also kind of swaps up a little bit every once in a while.
Right.
And, oh! Okay, it's a bit of a fight going on here.
There's a
over the
fight.
tower.
We have to play around the tower here because they're both kind of low against these two fairly strong characters. Or like beefy, I guess, in the right word. Yeah.
You know, if we look at their experience, it does look like Point Park's a little bit closer than we're used to with them. In recent weeks, they kind of been lower. Now they're kind of like, they're still like a little bit low, but they're kind of competing. You know?
Right. This is more the competition that we're seeing here. It does seem a little rude in a way to say, oh, it looks like there might be a possible big fight going on. Noisy is a little low. Homeless man pushes forward. Does did a little bit of tick damage. Oh my goodness, the homeless man getting, oh my goodness. What is happening? I don't know exactly what. Does the homeless man revive? Oh,
But it
Oh,
doesn't
this-
seem to matter. They took out a bunch of them in one go.
one after the other. Point Park is getting eliminations left and right.
And I think-
Construct by themselves.
I think that might have been a mistake by the Cumberlands that might have just costed them the tower.
Possibly here. Noisy
Maybe
is going to be
God, they
pushing up with
took
God
it back.
Construct. It does look like they're going to be playing a little bit. Oh, shoot. They're going to be pushing it after our support character. Noise.
Ribeiro,
need to
though,
help
he's right
him.
there.
Ribeiro coming in for the save. Unfortunately, does not get the save in time. However, Noisy is
Everyone's
going to be
in now.
eliminated. God Construct running away.
It is awesome when we see that from Point
This
Park.
is a
Great
bi- this is-
communication.
This is a very big change of events. I feel like I'm more, like, I guess, reactive and just, like, more loud because there's a lot more going on this time around. Point Park being more aggressive. We're being more, like, I guess, like, proactive. We're doing things and we're able to communicate and like commentate accordingly. And it's good to see this by Point Park. We've been missing this. Oh no, though. It looks like, with all that being said, getting those eliminations, we didn't really take advantage of it that much because right now the Dragon's here and most of Cumberland is already here. So we might be seeing another big fight coming up pretty soon. So pushing up like that, a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it's kind of their teams are forming, but no one's really making the move just yet.
A little bit at a time that Dragon's going to get eliminated. I wonder if Point Park's going to decide to go for it. It doesn't look like it. Point Park is going to be splitting up, working on the different lanes here.
It looks like Point Park just kind of let that dragon go.
Yeah.
And that means Cumberland's is now one off of the big stat boost.
Yes. Oh, another fight going on in mid lane. Oh no, Shala and Soap being punished in the center with 4 of them after Sinai getting an elimination on Shalat.
It looks like they got chased away by some teamwork though.
Oh,
Let's see how it goes.
3v3 going on over
Oh.
here. Noisy getting an elimination on the Almighty.
It's back and forth, that's for sure. But wait, while all that's
Oh.
happening, Gibby
Gibby was
sneaking
working
in
up on the top.
And you know that's
They were, no. Yes, yes,
Yeah, they
actually,
did.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Point
they
Park.
got it. And look, they're pushing here too. That turret's low.
Oh.
Oh, Point Park got it.
Point Park with that, like, it looked like they decided to
You know what?
communicate to one another that they weren't going to push on that dragon, and you know what instead they did? They decided to split up on their lanes and start pushing forward, forcing, and while the Cumberlands had to rush back to their lanes to be able to protect it, Point Park was able to slowly tick off the health of these turrets, eventually giving us 2 turrets.
And you know what I kind of noticed?
Hmm.
The middle lane and the top lane, there's no more turrets blocking them. So if they communicate that, if they get in a group real fast and push down one of those lanes, they could be in the other side real fast.
Exactly.
And they are a bunch of melee characters. So could this be the moment we see Point Park get a big win? Well, it seems like they're kind of taking a second, but
Again, look, remember how I was talking about how Cyanide would continuous, like, the rotating between of the Cumberlands was so, like, common. Like, they would always do that. We see Cyanide playing mid, see Cyanide playing top. Now we're seeing Cyanide playing bottom lane. It just continuous changing. And that could be punished, but it also can be difficult for Point Park to handle because Cyanide being a very good, like, just
yeah,
like
but
force,
I don't know. I'm
not
kinda
knowing
just
where they
like-
are.
I'm confused why he would even go to bottom lane. Because right now it doesn't look like bottom lane's where they should be focusing on.
Right.
They're struggling in middle and top lane. So they probably want to defend those.
Does
So
look
why
like
would
we
you-
might be fighting for the Baron here. Ooh.
Oh,
Shalot and Soap being attacked right now. Big fight going on in
Right.
mid lane. Back and forth going around. Noisy almost eliminated. Cyanide almost full health. Slowly our health is going out here. We're all pushing a little bit. Does look like we're falling back, both teams.
yeah, but you know, if I was Point Park, I would just let them have the Baron at this point and just push down one of either middle or the top.
Honestly, what I think I did see instead was we all returned back, leaving the Baron alone. No one's actually on the Baron right now.
Yeah.
So it kind of reset the fight for it. This might be just a new fight to get the Baron.
Yeah.
I might be seeing here. So maybe we'll see Point Park, like, collect themselves to get ready for this fight.
Let's see what's about that. And it looks like they're all going through the jungle right now. Like the whole team's just going through the jungle. And oh, they kind of claimed this area and pushed away Ruka.
Be smart here. They're slow. Point Park pushing so aggressively together here. They are being surrounded by Cumberland a little bit. They need to be smart here.
Yeah, but in a way, they kind of want that because, again, they're all melee builds. The moment that the other team comes close, they could just gang up on them. So I think that's why they're sticking together. They know if the other team comes close, they can gang up on them and do a lot of damage. And honestly, right now, I feel like the advantage is kind of in their court because, again, in the top and middle lane, there's no tower blocking them. So if they ever decide to push down one of those lanes...
Cyanide not getting punished on the top lane here. It looks like Almighty trying to go in for the save. Unfortunately, not getting there in time. Another fight between the two.
It's kind of still back and forth. We'll see how it goes. And they're kind of fighting here. Okay, I am seeing Point Park still kind of sticking close together, though, which is good to see. That communication is still there. We'll see kind of how it helps here.
Dragon has spawned. Point Park was already kind of there, but it did look like the Cumberlands were also here. Cyanide, one of the big players here, is not there to be to defend. So it is going to be a 4v4 here.
Wait, Rivera just snuck into the section.
Oh no, getting
Maybe a
suppressed,
little
getting
bit of
caught.
midfield.
Oh no, there's a big fight going on.
Cumberland's
The
got
Almighty
fourth
coming in for the
dragon.
save, maybe.
The Cumberland's
Shalot-
got
oh.
the fourth dragon, but they're winning
One
the
after
fight.
the other. Oh my gosh, Homeless Man almost eliminated. Is separated. God Construct, Noisy, very low in health.
Oh,
Oh,
somehow.
God Construct eliminated the Homeless Man.
somehow they're still holding up despite the fact that Cumberland has 4 of the Dragons.
Wow.
This is crazy to see, man. Point Park has really gotten better at communication, what I've noticed, which is great to see. Because that's been one of the biggest issues we've had over the last couple of weeks. And now they kind of have it together a little bit.
Yeah, they're like showing that they have more of the communication. However, like with that being said, I think one of the best things to explain it as the best way to explain it is we found our communication a little late.
Yeah.
We haven't refined and kind of refined and improved our communication skills because we've only just figured out how to properly communicate.
Yeah.
So this first game, unfortunately, as much as we have been saying like we're doing more communication, we're talking to one another, we're showing each other like they're playing off of each other. There's still occasional mistakes, and those mistakes have been big ones.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Ribeiro pushing up by themselves, unfortunately, getting punished heavily.
Yeah, I think that's kind of why we see that Cumberlands have all those Dragons. I mean, they got all 4 that they need. They have the stat boost now,
Right.
which is a huge issue.
Well, this does look like a big push down mid here, possibly. Point Park has a 5 group here against all of Cumberland, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to be a big fight, and
Might
it looks
be
like
going-
Cumberland's
yeah.
kind of trying to stay back.
Like they are trying to go for this guy.
I think Cumberland actually.
Ribeiro going aggressive on Noisy
Oh.
here. I wonder if Point Park is going to be assisting that.
Yeah,
Does
they
look
are.
like it is getting a little bit. Noisy getting elimination on Ribeiro. One after the other. Noisy almost eliminated. Oh my goodness. Ah,
That is not good for Point Park.
give you against the homeless man.
It
Oh
looked
no!
like they
Oh
had-
shoot! A little bit at a time, and
It
the
looks
homeless
like they
man
had
just.
the communication. It was just timed off. They
I
didn't
think
jump in together.
They
that's
had the time. No, yeah. Sorry. No, I think not only that they didn't have the timing, they also struggled with. What's the best word to explain it? I think they also just weren't leveled enough. They don't have that boost. They don't have that 4 dragon boost. They don't have the what's it called? They don't have control over their level. Like their level are not as strong as the Cumberland. So their push, as quote unquote good at as it was, they couldn't really make use of it because they were already just so behind. They're falling behind,
And
and
that's-
they're starting to be falling. They're starting to fall behind a lot.
That's falling back into the same issue we talked about earlier, where they just do not keep up on levels. And I think, we talk a lot about communication, but that's also a big deal. If you're not able to keep up on levels, you're gonna fall behind.
Oh my goodness, Noisy getting attacked. Unfortunately, getting immediately. Oh wow, Noisy is a fiend. Eliminating the Almighty here.
Back and forth.
Ribeiro kind of
Oh.
having to defend this off by himself.
Oh,
Noisy and God Construct with this big push.
not looking
Ruka
great.
falling suit. Cyanide playing mid lane here. We're getting pushed by multiple lanes here. Point Park gonna have to figure out something to respond here.
And there's another tower. Yeah, that's not good.
Oh no.
We're running out of towers here.
We're getting pushed back, and we need to figure out what to do. I don't
This
know.
might not be good.
This might be just This might be what we're seeing here is Point Park's efforts, unfortunately, not coming out as cleanly as we wanted to.
Yeah, and I think it's just from all the mistakes they made earlier.
There's
It just added up in the end.
yes, at least so. This is first game.
Yeah.
There's another one, and there possibly is a third. Well, we're speaking as if the game is already over. However, we don't. Yeah, there could be possibilities. We don't know.
Oh, and technically this round's not over if they
It's
can
not
pull a
over.
comeback here.
But
They did push them back.
this
though.
is showing the Cumberlands that Point Park pulled themselves together. They were apart for the longest time, where after that first initial game or so, they were falling apart. Communication was off, strategy was not there, commitment, the 3 C's, I should say, they weren't there. But this game, we kind of showed that we actually have that we were trying, you know?
Yeah.
So
And that's good to see, but I don't know. At the end of the day, we just made too many mistakes, and we need to fix that before the next game, or we
right.
might just get swept again. And that's a big fear that we're gonna have going into the next game now. It's never a good feeling going into the second game with the
Big
idea
fight
that
going on here. Does look like this little chokehold is gonna get a little punished. One elimination by Ribeiro. Oh no, Sinai coming in for the save, basically removing the entirety of Point Park.
and that might just be it.
The almighty working at the homeless man with this
The almighty
unfortunate just difference of level, and like it just looks like the homeless man's going to probably be able to solo this.
And yeah, it's just, and Almighty's the only one
no.
left too, so the other one's all pushing down towards their base.
And there that goes.
And yeah, it's probably over.
Wow, the homeless man achieving an ace here.
Oh. And they quickly took down those
GG's.
towers. Yeah,
Wow.
it's over.
That
That's
was
not even a
genuine.
good
Okay.
chance. Wow.
Yeah. To be fair, as I was stating before, I think although we did lose that first game, that showed, at least to me as a caster, that we have the talent and the skills to be able to really output something. We just had to refine it and figure out what the heck was going on.
Yeah, I think we did a lot better this time, but we need to do better if we want to get past the next
Of
two
course,
rounds.
and that seems like I'm trying to think of more of an optimistic view of this, because although the outcome is still the same, we showed our journey there was a lot better. We showed that we were more capable and we deserve to be here. It's just the mistakes that we did make ended up losing us the round. So, with that being said, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and when we're back, we're going to go into the second round, and hopefully Point Park will be able to take that one, and we'll go into the third, and we'll see. However, we don't know until then. So, please stay tuned. We're going to be on a little break. If you're coming, goodbye. See ya. Hello, and welcome back to Point Park University Esports in downtown Pittsburgh. Hello, thank you for staying in tune if you're here, and if you joined in late, hello. Just thank you for coming. We're in League of Legends today, and we are not actually winning right now, but that's okay. Don't worry about that. We, what we saw from the last round was absolute bliss. It was a very big change of events for Point Park with their recent history and their struggles for the three C's. Which, Bryce, would you like to elaborate what the three C's are?
It was communication,
Hmm.
commitment, and what was the last one?
Courage.
Courage, courage.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we were seeing a lack of the three C's recently, and unfortunately, those alongside are like being proactive rather than reactive overall had us continuously lose these matches that we've been up against. However, with recent events, with the last round, fortunately we did lose because of a couple mistakes that we had. We were showing major improvement. Point Park University was finally showing the three C's. Sorry, the Point Park University was finally showing the three C's, and it was wonderful to see. Point like I like yeah, we like the outcome ended up being that we lost the round, and I can only imagine how that feels when you're actually putting forth that effort and you're like, oh my gosh, we're actually improving, and then still getting that loss. It hurts. It sucks. But in a different light, in a different perspective, what we saw there was that Point Park University is still trying. They're improving. They're getting better.
Well, now's the time to show that improvement goes something because they need to win the next two games or they're out of the playoffs.
Exactly. So, like what we so the thing that happened in the last round that I want to kind of elaborate on was although we have been improving on our 3 Cs and being proactive, there were still many occasions where we didn't have that. We still were kind of struggling on committing. We were struggling a little bit on like properly communicating what the plan was because it seemed like Point Park was like, "Oh, we have our strategy. Let's go for it." And then they were like, "Wait, are we committing to that strategy or are we just kind of hanging out? Like what's going on?" And then there was the occasional time where it was just kind of greed of sorts, and they ended up pushing by themselves, getting punished for it, and it just ended up being less firepower.
Yeah, and all those errors when they don't mean anything at first, but as they kind of start to add up, it becomes a big issue because what it allowed the other team to do is by punishing every mistake that Point Park made, they got a slight inch better.
Hmm.
And every time they get a slight inch better, add that together, a bunch of inches equals a foot. So, in the end, they were about a foot better. They were a foot ahead, in fact.
You heard it here, folks. A bunch of inches equal a foot. And what we saw, and and overall, there was a loss of foot. And I guess with that being said, what are the 12 mistakes that we made that led to the foot? Come on.
All right,
What are the
well.
12 mistakes that we made that we need to focus on
Well, we
to
were overly aggressive.
All right.
We pushed too far.
Mhm.
We didn't communicate in key opportune times.
Mhm.
We kept falling back when we should have fallen back. Other times, we didn't fall back when we should have fallen back.
Right.
We allowed them to push into our towers.
Okay, you got to 6. I think that's good enough. Anyways, well, like,
I could have probably went above 12.
yeah,
I'm gonna be
but
real with you.
I would like to elaborate on some of that. Like, it's important. Like, we were talking about how they're being more aggressive, which is really good. They're being proactive and doing stuff. However, you can't do that irresponsibly. You need to be able to push on to wherever you're going for. If you're going for those objectives, and you need to be able to push that with the support of your team. Or if you're going for a lane, you need to be able to push that knowing that you will be okay without like risking without risking your other teammates having to fight something with less people or pushing by yourself when you should be helping your teammates capture like a dragon or something. That is very important to acknowledge. And with you, what you also said, we weren't pushing enough sometimes. So it's kind of like a delicate balance that we need to figure out when the right time to push and when the right time to retreat.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's a huge issue of Point Park in general. Every game we've seen it where they just can't find that balance. One moment they're doing too much, the next minute they're not doing enough, and they need to find that middle ground, or it's all gonna fall apart.
Exactly. It's I think, how would I explain this? Point Park University. We've got the sources. We saw it. We need to refine it. And that's what our game this game's going to be about. Seeing if we're kind of against the clock here, seeing if we can refine our communication, all of that before the end of the game.
Yeah.
So we're able to prove that we can at least get one.
Yeah.
Right. And
if we win this one, we're on to the semifinals, meaning we're top 4. So
Right.
even it would be amazing to
so
get
it'd be
there.
like an amazing comeback for Point Park. It'd be like team that would struggle immensely, somehow winning against the top teams and losing against the bottom team. It'd be immense. It'd be crazy to see like, oh, whoa, Point Park actually's got it. We're just goofing around. We're trolling or something.
The Cinderella one. That's what
Correct.
we're looking for.
Yes. So, hopefully we see that tonight. Hopefully we see some crazy plays go on. We're waiting for the delay to occur. We're waiting for all that jazz. But, you know, what I've noticed. Talk about this merch that you're wearing. Like, I like that.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
This right here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is Point Park Esports, where you can come join us. You can come meet us. You can be part of this, and you can get
Yeah.
a scholarship
Mhm.
to wear a shirt like this.
Right. Like, what's it called? Point Park Esports has been a wonderful community, a wonderful like place for me to kind of learn the ropes of what it means to be a part of a crew, what it means to kind of quote unquote play your part in a big team production. It's a very good feeling. It's wonderful. And alongside that, if you're even a little bit interested during the open houses, we provide like being able to see the facilities, being able to talk to our coach, Chris, and all that jazz. And alongside that, you get the chance to what's it called? You get the chance to possibly get some sort of scholarship to help you with your college, right?
Yeah.
So it's very good. Thank you, Point Park Esports, for giving me the opportunity to be able to do this. And all of that is wonderful.
I mean, even on top of that, how can you say no to Red Bull?
Yes! That is another big reason why it is good to join the Point Park Esports team. You get access to Red Bull, a sponsor of today's stream and all other streams that come ahead, because Red Bull loves us. Thank you so much, Red Bull, for sponsoring Point Park Esports. Alongside that, thank you, Extron and RPC Video, providing us with a camera and monitors and all that jazz that allows us to create beautiful streams that you sit and watch at the comforts of your home. So thank you so much. Anyways, let's get into this game.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
Ooh, so this time around, we are red this time.
Oh,
Looks like
out
enough.
of the gate.
Yeah, right off the bat, we're already getting a little aggressive here. Had 3 on the bottom lane, pushing down towards Noisy and Ruka. Does look like we kind of have some space there. The usual split around. I wonder if we're seeing any unique people. Ooh, Ribero's back at that like bear character.
Yeah, I
don't
think it's
remember.
called Volley Bear, something like that.
Volley Bear.
I think that's what it is.
Shalot playing Serenity. I don't remember exactly. Same character as the last game. Serenity is probably not it. Not even close.
Yeah, well, look, we'll just call it Serenity until we're told otherwise.
We're gonna. Almighty's playing some sort like vampiric person. Looks like I don't know.
Interesting.
Not really sure how these characters work. It's fine. Whatever.
We'll
Anyway,
figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So it does look like we're seeing aggression again. Oh, actually, I noticed. Cyanide isn't playing Orin anymore. I think there might have been a possibility that Point Park banned Cyanide from being able to play Orin, and I wouldn't be surprised. That Orin's, I imagine that was probably his ult, was really powerful. It kept stunning Point Park
Yeah.
like in their tracks immediately. I'm not entirely sure if Point Park is continuing their full-on melee strategy again. Maybe.
It looks like they have some melee, but I do think they have a little bit of range mixed in now. So they're a little bit different. Like, yeah, Soap's using range now. I think Shalot was using range. That might be.
Shalot's played same character. I
Ah,
think
for
they're their
now.
usual thing.
So no, I guess not. Maybe they are just going mostly then. Soap's the only one that's not doing melee. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. So, with the beginning of this game, what we need to see, because I really liked when we were originally in the beginning of last round, we saw that that Ribeiro was kind of acting as the info gather for jungle. He was like, hey, monster is about to spawn, or objective, do we want to attack that? He needs to act that out more often.
Oh,
The people
look at
that- oh my
that. They
goodness.
got some help from Ribeiro. And there's that communication,
Yes.
man.
First blood does go to Point Park University. Unfortunately, gets traded off by Soap.
But yeah, it was very cool to see Ribeiro kind of get
Oh,
involved.
homeless
And whoa,
man.
here comes Gibby.
Yes.
The
Gibby
communication
yes.
immediately here.
We are pushing really heavy against the homeless man. Roku kind of falling behind does allow Point Park to get another elimination.
It's looking very good early here for Point
Yes.
Park as they are playing aggressively.
They
and
are
they're
playing around the
together.
dragon location, which I don't know exactly when it spawns. However, they're kind of playing like kind of quote unquote proactive about it, you know?
Yeah.
They're like already set up, getting ready to kind of take it whenever it does spawn. Oh, does look like it's going to be spawning pretty soon, actually. I wonder if Point Park is going to be taking advantage of that. Gideon fighting against God Construct, kind of close here. Gonna have to be careful.
Yeah. And it looks like
Dragon is
it looks
spawned.
like Shalot's trying to convince them to come near, and there's people hiding. And it looks like that might be exactly what they're trying
Oh.
to do.
Yeah.
They're trying to set them into a trap here, and okay, they all pulled out now, realizing there's
Okay.
friends there.
Does look like we're gonna be seeing a
Oh.
big fight between Point Park and University of Cumberland.
And there's
Ooh, a
one.
very quick elimination on Homeless Man.
And we got the feat of warfare.
Oh, not Homeless Man. What was that? Roku. Apologies.
And now we're right after the dragon right now. We're making
Yeah.
moves.
Gonna be focusing entirely on the dragon here. Gideon kind of getting cornered here by both Homeless Man and God Construct. It does pull back.
And Gideon was kind of smart enough to get behind the turret as soon as he saw them, so he kind of stopped it from
This
being
does
bad.
give us the dragon here, which is really good. Noisy playing down there. Maybe Charlotte's going to come over
Yeah,
and
Charlotte.
try to get the elimination.
It looks like
They're
Charlotte
going to be
was
playing
more,
aggressively. Yes.
I think Charlotte was more trying to stop him from coming in and trying to sneak
Right,
the
right.
dragon, because we've seen that a couple
We have
times.
seen that a couple of times, and Ribeiro is famous for that one
Yeah.
too. So we don't want to get we don't want a Ribeiro get pulled on us.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
oh my
Oh
god,
my
we
gosh,
immediately
Homeless Man
jumped
getting
over
cornered
him.
here, getting jumped by both Gibby and the Almighty.
And he got jumped by the monster he's attacking.
Wow,
They took
eliminated
nothing when he
Point
was
Park.
really busy.
So far, so good. Knock on wood. We're seeing some good improvement here.
It is awesome.
We're
to see
pushing
them
down on
doing
this bottom lane here. Roku having to fight by themselves. A big horde of minions going to support us. Noisy coming in for support here.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see Point Park kind of improving.
Yes.
Because that's really big. It means we still have a chance.
Mhm.
Every
So
time they improve, we have a better chance of
exactly.
winning.
So with that first dragon under our belt, we do now the next with the order that goes on. We're going to be seeing that grub. We need to see Point Park be active about that. We need to see them be prepared to go for it when it does spawn. Does look like Cumberland is pinging that out, letting their team know. I wonder if Point Park is going to be doing the same. We don't hear the comms, so maybe they are being communicated. Like they are communicating about that. They're just not like really showing it. Actually,
Well,
nope.
the
We're
thing
just saw
is-
there.
The
It's going to
thing
be
is,
something
when
soon.
I went out there earlier, the coach was kind of talking about how they aren't really talking to each other, so I'm kind of worried about that. Because I did hear the coach mention that, and that's kind of a bit worrying, because that's kind of what they need to be doing. So I kind of hope that they took what the coach was saying to heart a little bit, because we do not want to see them not
So the
communicate.
Void Grubs are about to spawn pretty soon. Does look like Point Park and the Cumberlands are playing a little bit differently here. Gibby is going to be
Uh-oh,
cornered
Gibby getting
here.
attacked.
Going to need to go run out. Oh no, getting pulled back. Gibby
Oh,
run
here comes
away.
Ribeiro.
Ribeiro coming in for the save.
And Gibby turned him as soon as he saw Ribeiro.
yeah, pushing immediately.
And yeah, it looks like Ribeiro.
Oh
chased
no,
away
Shalot
one of
playing
them.
by themselves here against the two. Gibby playing still against the God Construct. What is that wall? Sub coming in for the support. Maybe he's going to be able to help this out. Oh, Gibby's so low.
Yeah, it's an absolute battle here.
Still staying aggressive.
Well, it's because the help is so similar. Gibby thinks he can get the.
Does look like
elimination,
Ribeiro is going to be playing for the Grubs here.
which is good. That's something that Point Park
Yes.
needs. You know, while this fight's going on, Ribeiro wants to ensure they get that objective. And Cyanide getting pushed way back by the Almighty. Oh, Homeless Man here for the save. But Almighty dropping behind the minions, realizing
Soap
that they
is coming
can't
in for
stay
the
there.
support here. Gibby and God Construct continuing their little feud in the middle. We
So-
do see Shalot fighting by themselves on bottom
Ribeiro
lane.
picking off Homeless Man.
Ribeiro getting an elimination on Homeless Man. Oh, shoot. It's a little nerve-wracking with bottom lane kind of being played by themselves. Shalot going to be having... Shalot needs that support. He's going to get eliminated. That is going to mean that turret is going to take some hefty damage. We do have our plate up still, so it's not going to take that much. But it's still nerve-wracking. Actually, with that being said, it's kind of taking a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's getting destroyed right now, but they are starting to push him back a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah.
the minions at least, so that's helpful.
Does look like Point Park University was able to get those grubs. That is really nice to see Point Park being proactive about those objectives. We need to keep seeing that. Does look like Ribeiro is playing that kind of, hey, letting y'all know we gotta get there. We gotta get there because it's spawning in a little bit. We should probably get ready to fight that. It does look like the Cumberlands are kind of playing a little bit in this river here. Oh no, Gibby being
Gibby?
pushed away.
And partly because of the fact that Ruka was coming from the other end, it probably was a smart move to drop back when they saw
Right.
Ruka. And yeah, it's just back and forth right now, but you know, Point Park does look like they're ahead a little bit. Now look at the kills right now; they're looking good.
Yeah. The only thing that they're falling behind just a little bit on is the money. However, it's not honestly that much. It's definitely what's it called? Achievable to reach that again. So it's honestly not that big of a difference.
You also have to remember Point Park's closer on objectives with the Void Grubs and Dragon. Cumberland's hasn't had either yet.
Oh, it might be.
here
Oh,
comes
the
the
dragon
dragon.
has spawned. Point. Ooh, beautifully. We do see Ribeiro already on the dragon. That is great to see. Where they kind of notifying, hey, we gotta be right there.
It looks
Homeless
like
man
Soap
hiding
and
in there.
Shalata trying to
Oh
hold
my
them
goodness,
back.
Homeless man going for the push. It's going to be a 3v2. Point Park needs to run out or fight this. They decided to try to fight it, but unfortunately getting punished a little bit. A quick come in by Gibby, trying for the
Here
save.
comes Ribeiro. It looks like everyone's coming in
A
here.
big push by Point Park, trying to save that one at a time. It's a big fight here.
Oh.
Oliver's so low. Gibby oh no!
And it looks like they might have gotten the dragon because of the overcommitment from Point Park.
I don't even think it was an overcommitment. I think it was more of just an unfortunate, like, they were trying their best to support, because they came in trying to support. It was just not fast enough.
I personally believe that Gibby should have been the only one pulling in. I think Rivera should have focused on the dragon. Because that dragon was so important, and the other team was distracted.
I think
Keep the distraction
I
going.
get what you're saying, but I think Cumberland was coming in from the river, so he was kind of forced to push down.
I didn't see that. Maybe.
But I would agree though to focus entirely on that dragon if he was there. At least they'd be able to get control over another objective. But I think that was just unfortunate in timing and everything.
Well, let's see if they can kind of come back from that. Hopefully that didn't shake them too much. And it looks like we're kind of back to the stalemate kind of situation as they're both fighting over different spots. Homeless Man kind of moving around near Soap and Charlotte. Not entirely sure what's going to happen there. And looks like Gibby and God Construct continuing the fight here in the middle.
Ooh, Vero might be coming in for the
Almighty
assistance here.
I think they might want to be careful down there though, as they're kind of getting pushed back.
Charlotte and Soap kind of being pushed away here. Charlotte really is squishy. Like, you notice, like, just a couple of hits and they're already half health.
Yeah, I think I'm not entirely sure why that is. They aren't too under leveled. Maybe it's just the character.
I think it might be just the character. Maybe like a glass cannon kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Ribeiro is a little proactive about it, saying that the Rift Herald is going to spawn fairly soon. That is good. That is a good comm to notify. Ribeiro might be coming in for the assistance here. Coming in from a flank. Oh, it does get stunned out.
Turret plane has finally fallen. Might be a bit. That means about mid-game now.
The Almighty did get punished for pushing up on the cyanide by the Homeless Man. Homeless Man playing so like, just is always there to support. And I imagine the Homeless Man is probably the jungle, which makes sense why they're always like kind of all like ready to fight that. Oh, Cyanide's so low. Almighty might focus on it. Almighty does get the elimination, gets healed from it as well. Homeless Man might be gonna eliminate it. No. And Gibby comes in for the support. Oh, that was big.
They pushed them back, but you have to realize that they still got Homeless Man out of there.
That is a big.
So that was a big deal.
They got the elimination on Sky. Oh my goodness, and Ribeiro getting that little catching God's Construct off guard. However, unfortunately getting supported by the Ruko there. If Herald has spawned.
It has been back and forth. Both sides are going all in. This is like huge skirmishing right now.
Yes. Seeing a little bit of a fight here with Gibby and God Construct. Does look like God Construct might be taking the toll here. Point Park, Gibby. A little bit at a time, picking out at the health there. Point Park does not have control of the Rift Herald, unfortunately. Homeless Man and Ruka playing it around it. The Almighty and Ribeiro kind of playing to maybe possibly go for it. Don't think. No, I think they're pushing back a little bit there. I don't think they have enough force to be able to push that.
Yeah, it's been back and forth here. And Point Park's still ahead in kills, so that could be big. But yeah, it looks like...
Yeah, they're focusing really heavy on that. I wonder if Point Park's going to come in to try to see if they can steal that. Ribeiro pushing down there, getting uprooted. Oh, Soap coming in. Oh, unfortunately. Oh my goodness! Ribeiro doing the usual, stealing it again! Point Park takes the Rift Herald. We've got it.
Work by Ribeiro.
And now we have a big fight going on. 3v3. We're going to be one at a time. Double kill elimination, unfortunately, on Point Park. However, Homeless is really low.
And there goes Hopeless Man.
2v2 now.
God Construct
Cyanide
low.
coming in, trying to maybe help here.
And there
God
goes...
Construct almost eliminated. Oh my gosh. Cyanide might be coming in there from behind. Shalot running out.
Gibby
Gibby being pushed, fighting alone there. Might need to run away. Does get the chance to get out. Oh no, Cyanide coming close. They're right beside each other. Oh no, run!
It's not looking good for Gibby.
Oh no.
Wait,
Ribeiro coming in for the save possibly. Does come in time. Does get to the chance to get away. Oh, that was good timing. Good play with each other.
The Almighty did a lot of damage.
Dragon has just spawned. I think they were all distracted with trying to figure out what was going on to be able to focus on that dragon, unfortunately.
Yeah, but look what Almighty's been doing. He's doing a lot of damage to the top lane turret. He might take it down, and there he is.
He does.
Nice. It's very interesting seeing this. You know, they're definitely trading shots here.
Yes.
This is kind of like in boxing when the two sides trade blows. That's what we're seeing now.
Yeah. I really like what I saw there just a moments ago, where we saw Gibby getting chased down, hunted down by Cyanide, who was being very aggressive there, and then Ribeiro, they communicated to each other, "Hey, I need that support. Help me out here." So Gibby started running over towards Ribeiro so Ribeiro could jump over and save him. And you got the chance to channel back.
Like, sequence of events,
right?
First you had Ribeiro stealing the kill, and then the whole team just came in out of nowhere and started fighting them back.
Right.
And then there was a little bit of a misstep with obviously, I think it was Gibby, right? You said Gibby? Yeah, he went overstepped a little bit, but then he fell back to Ribeiro, and they were able to fight him back. That was a great sequence of events, and if they could do that more, this could be their game.
Right. Within that whole chaos, though, does look like Cumberland was able to get the elimination on the dragon there just now, so it's a little worrying that we lost that dragon.
Yeah. But and to be fair, we did get one of the turrets while that dragon was going down, thanks to Almighty. So there's some good and there's some bad. And that's kind of what we see with Point Park a lot. The question is, are we focusing on the right good to counter the bad?
Which path was the better path, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what we're gonna have to find out as the game continues.
It's a numbers game hidden behind like abilities and stuff.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. Because if you don't have the numbers on your side, it's gonna come back to bite you later.
Exactly. We're looking back and forth something here.
Yeah.
The like levels are kind of even here.
Yeah.
This seems like this right now. It's still anyone's momentum. Like they need, like both teams have been kind of punishing, have been gaining that push. So it's genuinely right now. We just need to see kind of a move be made.
Four of them. Oh no, all five of them together here.
Point Park, a little aggressive in this little spot here. I'm pulling away.
Oh, they're at the noisy.
Oh, big fight down mid lane. It does look like they decided to send out their Rift Herald.
And the Thornbound spawned as this.
Gonna be pushing straight for. What is the Rift Herald going for? going. Ooh, and the elimination and destroying the turret. We do have that.
That was a great use of the
Rift Herald there.
Herald,
Yes.
It's really working out well for Point Park.
Doesn't look like Point Park decided not to completely attack for this.
In response, they lost the top lane turret.
Yeah.
It's definitely still back and forth, and that's a little worrying.
We're seeing this kind of 4v4 here. The Almighty is at the top. We need to see some push here. Oh no! Point Park getting eliminated really quickly. What in the world just happened?
I think they just took all five of them out.
Oh my god!
And this is not looking good. They might
What
be
in the world
about
just
to
happened?
push.
What do we just see there? Point Park just getting absolutely demolished by a simple. I think what we saw there was Cyanide used an ability to be able to quickly rotate over on top, and I think the impact of the rotate kind of did this major damage. And then on top of that, we had Ribeiro trying to go in from the flank, and unfortunately, since they weren't there, they weren't able to kind of tank that that damage and be able to take the hits. So it ended up being an overall just slaughterfest.
I think it also comes down to just, they didn't pull back when they should have. Almighty had a
Exactly.
chance to get out of there with his life at least. But
Exactly.
he just kept going. Instead of pulling back when he started seeing his team lose.
Another
he
turret
just
gone
went in.
by Point. I mean,
And
gone
it's
from
starting to
Cumberland.
look really bad for Point Park.
That might
They
be
have
this.
lost a lot
That
of
might have been a
turrets.
major momentum shift for Cumberland there. Like I just said,
Yeah.
like we just needed to see like a big play be made from Point Park, and I think instead we saw a big play be made by the Cumberlands because it was
And I
such a
kinda like-
back and forth.
I kind of like how Cumberland took advantage of that. Instead of working together and pushing down, they kind of split up and took out more turrets.
Right? They accepted the fact that they probably weren't going to win that,
So
and they decided to get turrets and act as more of a
They also got the thorn down when they did it. So they kind of they did a lot of good stuff there. They put themselves in a better
Yeah.
spot. So if something like that happens again later, they can just group up
right.
and push.
They played that very well. Counteracting Point Park's push down mid.
And it could be really bad for Point Park if they don't step up soon, because now they are looking at a very bad place.
Does look like with all that, like I guess nerve and everything that just occurred, Point Park is kind of losing their what's it called? Their kind of teamwork effort here. They did that dragon was immediately taken by the Cumberlands.
And that was the Cumberland's third dragon, so
Yeah.
one more is all they need, and then I think the numberscape might just catch up again. Which it already kind of is. Look at the levels; they're kind of slowly beginning to get out leveled here. Not good.
We are seeing kind of interesting like position for Point Park here.
They seem to
Like-
be almost playing defensively.
Yeah, they're playing now.
And
but-
there goes another turret. That's not good.
Oh, this 2v3 here. We're gonna be it's 3v3 now. Gibby getting oh my goodness, getting taken so much health.
Looks like, oh, another turret. And that you can't lose too many more of those, or it might be over for Point Park. I'm pretty sure they lost the top lane's turrets, the middle lane's turrets, and the bottom lane's turrets.
Yeah, they're all
All they have left is their base now, and now the minions are pushing in. This isn't looking good at all. Yeah, it's looking really bad. We'll see if they can somehow do something to fix it, but I don't know, man. I don't know how they come back from this one.
I think Point Park had before that major downfall, that major event that occurred where I'm gonna call it the whiff herald, all right, the whiff herald, and the whiff herald event. After that occurred, it felt like Point Park had lost control entirely.
Yeah.
The fact that Point Park got a full wipeout allowed Cumberland to pull themselves up from any sort of divot that they had and get ahead to the point where now they're in a kind of snowball effect where they're just overall, I guess, quote unquote, stronger than Point Park is right now.
Yeah.
And what we need is, and I don't even know what Point Park can do to be able to, I guess,
I mean, that's
pull themselves
especially
back.
seen when you look at levels. The lowest on Cumberland side is 13. The lowest on Point Park side is 10.
yeah,
That's a pretty big gap.
it's a big offset.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think they might honestly just be out after this point. Which is not good to see. They need a miracle at this point, I think, to come back from this. Which is unfortunate, but we saw a lot of good improvements from them.
Yes, we
So
did.
next season, maybe we'll see a big run, but I think this season might be about those. Yeah, there you go. They just got another objective. They got the Baron, and yeah, it is just looking really bad. Oh my God, they're getting ganged up
Oh,
on
wow.
now.
And
The
with that
numbers
being said,
game.
I think the Cumberland has noticed that they're able to just kind of run it down. I think this is when they will actually commit to that.
It's the numbers game playing into it again. They just don't have the numbers to catch up.
They're working
here.
at the top lane here, going to go for Gibby and Soap.
And look how much damage.
Wow,
they
look
did
at
to
that!
turret.
Look at that turret, just basically getting just wiped off the racer.
And they're taking out the inhibitor. Now they have better minions. Yeah, it's over. I don't know how you come back from this one. It looks like they're about to just run right through them. The other inhibitor's gone. And oh, they're pulling back.
I think they're pulling back for the health here. Oh, I think they're. Oh, okay.
But yeah, Point Park disrupted their channel and
Yeah.
now they got it. Not homeless man got
Homeless man stop. Yeah.
We're homeless man. He can't get away.
I guess he is homeless.
Oh
Wow.
it's great to laugh.
It's great to fire.
There's not
Oh,
much to laugh
no.
about at this
Oh, no.
point.
All right. It looks like it looks like Cumberland is going to be pushing down at the bottom lane here to get the bottom inhibitor and that little turret that they have. Point Park needs to, I guess, best of way, figure
Oh.
out an alternative.
Ribeiro just got jumped. And Gibby tried to help, but I don't think it's in the best interest of Gibby here. It just isn't looking great. The numbers game is just too much at this point. I don't know what they're gonna do. Oh god, they might even pull back and get that dragon just to get.
I think
boost.
what's happening right now is I think that is what happened.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah,
they're already
but-
on it. They were right on it as soon as it spawned. They got the boost. It's over. That just it made the gap from huge to gigantic.
Mhm.
And I don't think that's a comeback at all. That's really bad. And oh my.
Wow.
Look at the damage they do, man.
Just absolutely.
Look at that turret.
Shut down.
Oh my god.
Turrets.
The
going
inhibitor's
down.
done. Dude, they are just pushing right through. Oh my god.
That the support of their minions and everything. They're about to
So
get
much
taken down.
damage now.
Final thing left is the the Nexus.
God. Yeah, it's not.
They were able to get eliminations on Homeless Man and Noisy. That is good to see.
Yeah, they got
And
a
then
couple
Shalot
eliminations,
And
but-
oh goodness.
Oh, now they're going after. Yeah, they're not even gonna fight the rest of them. They're just gonna focus in. It's
And
over.
there it goes. That's a GG's.
It was a good game.
With that, Point Park University is out. They've lost tonight's game. However, what we saw there is not a display of weakness. What we saw there was a display of upbringing and the fact that our program is improving. We're trying to get better at what we know, what we do, the communication, everything. We're trying to get better. And Point Park, what we saw there is that they put together everything that they made a mistake on in the previous games. All of that. Combined it together and tried their best with what they knew. And I think it showed in those last two games.
Yeah, I think so too. I have very optimistic hope for next season, but at the end of the day, we're gonna end this season on heartbreak, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully next season we can come back and we can do better.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to say thank you for coming. Thank you for watching the League of Legends stream. If you came from the Rocket League stream, thank you for staying tuned. Tomorrow we have our Valorant game for the green team. I believe that is at 7 o'clock, the usual. And then, yeah, I think that's all for this week. So, thank you so much for coming. Fortunately, we did lose this round, but it's okay. Next season, I might be able to see some change. But with that being said, thank you so much for coming. My name is Kago,
Guys.
and thank you so much. Goodbye.